America's cities were once symbols of progress and opportunity. Today, many are grappling with a harsh reality: urban decay. From coast to coast, cities are plagued by similar issues. Crumbling infrastructure, rising crime rates, and a widening wealth gap paint a bleak picture. Take Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. It's a city of stark contrasts. Grand monuments and imposing government buildings stand tall, yet just blocks away, poverty and despair fester. Homelessness is rampant. Public services are strained. Philadelphia tells a similar story. The city of brotherly love is now grappling with a brotherly problem. Once thriving neighborhoods are blighted by abandoned buildings. Gun violence casts a long shadow over communities. The American dream feels increasingly out of reach for many. The decline of American cities isn't just anecdotal. It's a reality that is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. The numbers tell a sobering story. They reveal a pattern of decline that has been years in the making. According to a recent study, nearly 1 in 6 Americans now live below the poverty line. This statistic is not just a number, it represents millions of lives affected by economic hardship. Many of them are concentrated in urban areas where the cost of living continues to rise while wages stagnate. Homelessness is a particularly visible symptom of this crisis. It's a stark reminder of the growing inequality in our society. In major cities like Los Angeles and Seattle, tent encampments have become a common sight. These makeshift communities are a testament to the failure of our social safety nets. The lack of affordable housing is pushing more people onto the streets. Families are being forced to live in their cars, and overcrowded housing conditions are becoming the norm. But the problems run deeper than just poverty and homelessness. The infrastructure in many cities is crumbling, and public services are stretched to their limits. Crime rates, particularly violent crime, have been steadily increasing in many urban centers. This rise in crime further destabilizes communities already on the brink. This surge in lawlessness further erodes the quality of life for residents. People are living in fear, and the sense of community is being lost. These statistics paint a stark picture. They highlight the urgent need for comprehensive solutions to address these multifaceted issues. America's cities are facing a crisis of epic proportions. The challenges are immense, but they are not insurmountable. It's a crisis that demands our immediate attention. Collective action and innovative solutions are needed to reverse these troubling trends and restore hope to our urban centers. Behind the statistics are real people whose lives are profoundly impacted by urban decay. These individuals face daily challenges that many of us can scarcely imagine. Their stories are a testament to the human spirit's capacity to endure and persevere. Meet Sarah, a single mother in Chicago. She juggles 2 jobs, working tirelessly from dawn until dusk just to make ends meet. Despite her relentless efforts, she still struggles to put food on the table for her children. Her days are long, and her nights are filled with worry about the future. Sarah's story is one of many in a city where the cost of living continues to rise, but wages remain stagnant. She dreams of a better life for her children, one where they don't have to face the same hardships she does. Then there's Michael, a lifelong resident of Detroit. Michael has witnessed firsthand the city's decline, from the closure of factories to the exodus of residents. The once thriving neighborhoods are now filled with abandoned homes and empty streets. Despite the decay, Michael remains hopeful. He worries about the future of his community but believes in the power of collective action. He spends his days volunteering at local shelters and community centers trying to make a difference. Michael's hope is a beacon for many in his community. He knows that change won't come overnight, but he believes that with perseverance and unity they can rebuild their city. These stories are not unique. They are echoed in countless cities across America where urban decay has left deep scars on communities. From the East Coast to the West Coast, the narrative is the same. Families struggling to survive, neighborhoods falling apart, and a desperate hope for change. These are stories of hardship, resilience, and an unwavering spirit. They are tales of people who refuse to give up despite the odds stacked against them. These voices deserve to be heard. They are the voices of our neighbors, our friends, and our fellow citizens. Their stories need to be told. They are a stark reminder of the human cost of urban decay and the urgent need for change. These tales of struggle and resilience highlight the strength of the human spirit and the importance of community in the face of adversity. Urban decay is not a new phenomenon, it's a complex issue with deep-seated roots. Decades of disinvestment in urban communities have taken their toll. One major contributing factor is the decline of manufacturing jobs. As factories closed and moved overseas, many cities lost their economic base. This led to widespread unemployment, poverty, and social unrest. Another key issue is racial and economic segregation. Decades of discriminatory housing policies have created concentrated areas of poverty. These communities often lack access to quality education, healthcare, and job opportunities. The result is a vicious cycle of poverty and despair. It's a cycle that's difficult to break free from. A nation divided, the growing gap between rich and poor. While many urban areas struggle, a different reality exists in affluent neighborhoods just miles away. This stark contrast highlights the growing economic inequality plaguing America. The gap between the rich and the poor has been widening for decades. This trend is particularly pronounced in cities where the wealthy often live in isolated bubbles, shielded from the struggles of their less fortunate neighbors. This economic divide fuels social unrest and resentment. It creates a sense of two Americas, increasingly distant and disconnected. Addressing income inequality is not just a matter of social justice. It's essential for the health and stability of our cities and the nation as a whole. The crumbling infrastructure, a metaphor for societal neglect. The physical decay of many urban areas is a visible reminder of a deeper societal neglect. Crumbling roads, dilapidated bridges, and outdated public transportation systems are not just inconveniences. They are symptoms of a chronic lack of investment. This neglect comes at a cost. Businesses are less likely to invest in areas with poor infrastructure. Residents face longer commutes, limited access to jobs, and a lower quality of life. Investing in infrastructure is not just about fixing roads and bridges. It's about investing in people and communities. It's about creating opportunities and fostering a sense of hope. The challenges facing America's cities are daunting, but they are not insurmountable. Addressing these issues requires a multifaceted approach and a collective commitment to change. We need bold and innovative solutions to address poverty, homelessness, and crime. This includes investing in affordable housing, expanding job training programs, and providing access to quality education and healthcare. We also need to address the systemic issues that perpetuate inequality. This means tackling racial discrimination, promoting economic inclusion, and ensuring equal opportunities for all. Even in the face of adversity, there are glimmers of hope emerging from America's cities. Across the country, community organizations and individuals are working tirelessly to make a difference. From grassroots initiatives to revitalization projects, people are coming together to rebuild their communities. They are creating gardens, cleaning up parks, and providing support to those in need. These efforts, while inspiring, are often band-aid solutions to much larger problems. They highlight the resilience of the human spirit, but also underscore the need for systemic change. The challenges facing America's cities are real and urgent. From crumbling infrastructure to rising inequality, our urban areas are grappling with issues that demand immediate attention. Traffic congestion, pollution, and lack of affordable housing are just a few of the pressing problems that need innovative solutions. But they also present an opportunity to rethink and redesign our urban spaces in ways that promote sustainability and inclusivity. Imagine cities where green spaces are abundant, where public transportation is efficient and accessible, and where communities are diverse and vibrant. We have a chance to reimagine our urban spaces and create cities that are more just, equitable, and sustainable. This vision includes community gardens that provide fresh produce, solar panels that harness renewable energy, and mixed-income housing that ensures everyone has a place to call home. This requires a shift in mindset. It calls for collaborative efforts where community members, urban planners, and policymakers come together to brainstorm and implement innovative solutions. Public meetings and discussions are crucial in shaping the future of our cities. We need to move away from the US versus them mentality that often divides urban and suburban communities. Instead, we should focus on building bridges and fostering unity. When people from different backgrounds come together, they can create stronger, more resilient communities. We need to recognize that we are all interconnected and that the fate of our cities is intertwined. Our infrastructure, our public services, and our social fabric are all part of a larger ecosystem that thrives on cooperation and mutual support. The future of America's cities hangs in the balance. As we look at the skyline dotted with cranes and construction, we must ask ourselves what kind of cities we want to build. The decisions we make today will shape the urban landscapes of tomorrow. The time for action is now. Activists, city officials, and everyday citizens are already stepping up to make a difference. From marching for urban change to volunteering in local projects, people are showing that they care about the future of their cities. Let us choose to build cities that work for everyone, not just a privileged few. Inclusive playgrounds, modern housing, and mixed-use developments are just the beginning. We must ensure that our urban spaces are designed with equity and accessibility in mind. Let us create cities that are beacons of hope, opportunity, and progress for generations to come. By working together, we can transform our urban areas into places where everyone can thrive, where dreams are nurtured, and where the future is bright.